how's it going? Joining you from Lord Howe Island in a garden of bananas. Today's class is a 30-minute gentle digestive practice. Therefore, it is catering to all levels, therefore pretty much anyone can join in. And also there's a point of slowing things down and just keeping it very gentle so that the nervous system can relax. Going from the fight and flight sympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is also known as the rest and digest. Therefore, that relaxation response. For this session, if you do happen to have a blanket nearby, worth incorporating it in. There's a few poses where we'll have that extra pressure using the blanket or a bit of support under the head. That being said, no worries. If you don't have a blanket, you're totally fine to do the practice without. But if you do have a blanket, we'll already incorporate it in as we make our way to lie on the floor on the mat. Just slowly lowering yourself down, getting comfortable, taking your time, coming into constructive rest. So the whole spine is resting on the floor, but the knees are bent and the soles of the feet are on the mat. If you have a blanket, just make sure that it's nice and cozy underneath the head. If you're practicing without, draw the chin in towards the chest and you're long in the back of the neck. From here, pressing the feet down, just slowly lift the whole pelvis just so you can tilt the tailbone down. Land once again on the floor, creating a bit more spaciousness in the lower back. And have the feet in a position where the hip flexors can relax. So you may want to play around with that, moving the feet further forward or closer in, where you can feel the muscle where the hinges between the legs and the torso. And by relaxing the hip flexors here, allowing the shoulders to relax down, finding a place of equilibrium and relaxation. This helps to stimulate the vagus nerve, which is linked to the parasympathetic nervous system. A lot of its nerves and fibers connect the gut to the brain. It's quite fascinating in itself. Just slowing things down, allow the external world to fade away. Focusing on your breath and gifting yourself this time. Maybe even bringing the hands for a few breaths on the belly, connecting to that part of yourself, your core center, checking in how it feels. Knowing that you're going to soothe it by bringing in some specific movements and poses that are known to be beneficial for digestion. A lot of twisting and gentle movements that will stimulate the digestive tract, will bring some fresh oxygen-rich blood to the internal organs, and will help to move things along, helping with detoxification and elimination. One more full breath in through the nose. Through the mouth, letting go. Beautiful. From here, draw one leg in at a time in towards your chest. Hands onto the shins or maybe even holding on to each other's arms and just squeezing the legs in, feeling that pressure on the belly as you rock side to side, giving yourself a big hug, massaging the lower back, the kidneys. And then back to center, wrapping your hands around your knees, extend the arms. So the legs are now further away from the body. The legs are completely soft and relaxed. It's the arms doing the movement here. Just getting used to having the breath leading the movement. So from here, after an inhale, on your exhale, start to bend the elbows, drawing the legs in. Still working with the hip flexor here. On an inhale, extend the arms, legs away. Slow movement. Exhale, draw legs in. Inhale, extend. Legs are relaxed. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, extend. This time staying here. The knees are pointing up towards your ceiling. The arms are still initiating, doing all of the effort here. The legs are relaxed, making mirroring circles, lubricating the hips. So here, separate the legs, then draw them in towards the chest, towards each other, then away from the body. So it's as if you're painting two circles on the ceiling with the knees, each going its own direction. The eyes can be closed here, just going nice and slow, still aware of your breath. And start to gently circle in the other direction, lubricating the hips, waking them up.
From
From here, extend the legs up towards the sky. If there's a bend in the knees, that's fine. And then also drawing the arms towards the ceiling. And here, have the back connected to the mat, pressing down towards the earth, feeling a little bit of activity and warmth in your core as you spiral the wrists and the ankles, the toes, the fingers, a little flush through the body, waking up the core and waking up the wrists and ankles. And from here, bending the legs in to lift up to a seat. You can either just roll to one side or you can go rock and roll along the spine a few times to then find your seat. So from here, we'll keep the blanket close but out of the way for now. Coming on hands and knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide. The shoulders are on top of the wrists. There's a bend in your elbow. The hips are on top of the knees. The legs are hip width apart. Feel long through the spine, so the tailbone is shifting back, yet the collarbone and the head moving forward. Cat-cow, Bidalasana. On an inhale, drop belly down, lifting the sitting bones, shining heart forward. Exhale, tilt the tailbone, rounding the spine, chin to chest, press into earth through the hands. Inhale, drop belly, sitting bones up, shine the heart, gaze up. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest. One more time, your own rhythm, your breath, leading the movement. And then back to neutral position. So still focusing on our trunk, but we'll move the rib cage in circular motions here. So from where you are, shift your ribs to the left, then shift them up towards the sky. So like an angry cat once again. Then shift the rib cage towards the right, and then draw it down towards the mat. So again, left, sky, right, down. And then when you get used to that, you can start to smooth out the motions, a bit more circular. And then next time you find yourself down, start to circle in the other direction. One more full round. And then back to center. Lovely. From here, come on to the tips of the fingers and back to flat hands. And you may notice by simply just changing the position of the hands, your core activates automatically. So that is what we want to keep active. So tips of fingers, feel the navel draw in towards the spine, strong through the core, which will protect the back, but then flattening the hands. From here, extend your right leg. The ball of the foot is flat on the mat. You can draw the right heel back, so you feel a nice stretch in the calf muscle here. If you'd like a very soothing practice, not want to use too much energy, you can just stay here. If you're happy to go further, you can press the left foot down into the earth to then lift the right leg. Still the core very engaged, and then option to even extend the left arm. So the hand and foot moving away from each other, finding as much length as you can in the body, the chest away from the mat. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, slowly draw the elbow towards the knee, rounding the back, chin to chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee, chin to chest. Still with rounding the back. Inhale, extend one last time. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach to release, landing the hand followed by the knee. And just do whatever you need to. If you want to swing the head around, finding your center once again. Tips of fingers, finding that core activation. Landing hands down. Extend the left leg, ball of the foot on the mat, pressing the left heel back as far as you can, experiencing a nice stretch and release in that calf muscle. Repeating the same variation you did on the other side. Perhaps you remain here, or if you'd like a little bit more, pressing the right foot down to then lift the left leg. Either staying here or shifting your weight and attention in the left hand so that the right arm can extend up. So really reaching the foot away from the hand away from the foot, chest away from the mat. Take a big breath in. And it's on your exhale that you slowly start to round the back, draw the elbow towards the knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Elbow to knee. One more time, extend. And then landing hand followed by the leg. Beautiful. From here, moving into a downward facing dog, or you can even choose to stay here. But for down dog, we'll move the hands a little bit further up on the mat. Spread the fingers as wide as you can comfortably. Feel strong through the arms. Core is engaged. tuck the toes, slowly start to lift the knees off the mat, but keeping them bent as the hips shift back. Just noticing how it feels here, maybe moving the head around, nodding the head yes, shaking the head no. Big bend in the knees, which means the hips can shift back, so most of the weight, or at least more weight, is in the legs rather than the shoulders and upper body. On an inhale, just lifting the heels, giving the toes a stretch. Exhale, heels back down. And from wherever you are, we'll slowly walk to the top of the mat. Landing the feet hip width apart. And letting everything hang. Crown of the head towards the earth. Big bend in the knees, more than you usually would, so that you're actually feeling the thighs on the belly. Again, just adding a little bit of pressure there. Allowing a deep stretch in the entire backside of the body, swinging side to side. And finding your center. As you press into the heels, shift the hips back. The arms are relaxed. The head is lowering down as it lifts up last, coming all the way up to stand, nice and slow. Strong legs, but soft arms. Head coming up last. Tadasana, mountain pose, just making a few circles with the shoulders first. Feeling the shoulder blades draw down the back, shoulders away from the ears, palms facing forward. And shifting the whole body just very gently forward and back. It's the most subtle movement, but feeling the little muscles in the feet activate. Shifting your weight forward and back. And then finding that place of center. And then finding stillness. And focusing on your breath. Right, one more full cleansing breath here in Tadasana. And opening your eyes when you're ready, slow sun salutation. So as per usual, listen to your own body, go your own rhythm, and rest as much as you need to throughout. So here the shoulders melt down, fingertips down towards earth. There's a tiny bend in your knees. Inhale, reach arms up towards sky, look up. Palms touch, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Uttanasana. On a halfway lift, inhale, long spine. Exhale, landing the hands on the outside of the feet, stepping the right leg back, low lunge, so back knee down to earth. Checking to make sure that the knee is on top of the ankle. Keeping fingertips on the ground for this variation of sun salutation. Inhale, just the chest lifts. On your exhale, bring the left hand on the inside, leaning into the arm so the leg can swing back. As you sit on the heels, come into a child's pose. Arms reach forward, head resting on the mat. Breathing into the side ribs, the back of the heart. Beautiful. On an inhale, lift up. Spread fingers, get ready to tuck toes and lift up to a downward facing dog. Shifting hips back, long. Limbs, heart towards thighs. Top of the head towards the earth. One more inhale. And out through mouth. Whew. Here, you can either just take baby steps to make your way to the top of the mat, or you could look in between the thumbs, lift both heels, bend the knees, and walk your right leg to the top of the mat, followed by the left. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, shift the hips back, press into the heels, rise all the way up. Arms to sky, palms touch, hands in front of heart. Other side, arms by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, bow all the way down. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, landing the hands on the outside of the feet, stepping the left leg back. Left knee down. Make sure the knee is on top of the ankle. Fingertips remain on mat. Just lift the chest. On your exhale, both hands on the inside of the foot. Swing the leg back. Sit on your heels. Reach the arms forward. Melting the forehead down to the mat. Slowing down the breath. And inhale, lifting up, spread the fingers, tuck the toes, core engaged, lifting knees, shift back, down dog. 3 deep breaths here. And then again, you can either just slowly step to the front of the mat or take one big lunge with the left foot first, followed by the right. Feet hip width apart, inhale, halfway lift, heart forward. Exhale, bow down. Bend the knees, weight into heels, rise all the way up as you breathe in. Arms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. Arms by your side. Take a few moments here. Slowing down, especially the exhalation. And then choosing for yourself here, either standing in Tadasana, skipping the next round, and just focus on the 4 corners of the feet anchoring into the earth, and standing tall and strong. Or joining for one more round, blinking open the eyes if so. Inhale, arms to sky. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, landing hands outside the feet, stepping right leg back, right knee down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, left hand on the inside of the leg, leaning into the arms. The leg swings back, coming into a child's pose. Forehead resting on the mat. Breathing into the back of the body as the hips sink back and down. On an inhale, lifting up, moving into your downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, looking between the thumbs, either one big step or a few baby steps, making your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, which will bring the hips back, press into the heels, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart. One last time on the left side, palms facing forward, shoulders melting down. There's a little bend in your knees. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart forward. Exhale, landing hands outside the feet, stepping the left leg back, low lunge, back knee down to earth. Inhale, just lift the chest. Exhale, hand on the outside, swing leg back, child's pose. Just enjoy a few moments here. Feeling heavy through the hips, anchoring down towards earth. Breathing into the sides of the body. And then moving forward into your downward facing dog, shift back. One more full breath here. And then either big step with the left leg first or just in your own way, making your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, shift back, press into heels, rise up. Palms touch, hands in front of heart. Beautiful. So staying at the top of your mat, I'll just turn to face you. So we'll anchor through your right leg. So there's a little bend in your knee, but most of the weight and energy is in your right leg. So you can slowly start to lift the left. A few options here. The more gentle would be, you can even keep the toes on the mat, but to just float the leg, flex the toes, so you're protecting the knee, and have your left hand on your knee, and you're just strengthening the ankle, playing with balance, focusing your mind on one task, which is the balance on one foot. So really calming for the mind as well. If you're happy to go a little bit further, you can swap hands. So it'll be your opposite hand to knee, make a big circle with your left arm, and then you're adding a big twist. Really pressing the knee into the hand back into the knee. If it's possible, looking back at the fingertips or facing forward. One more breath where you are. And then landing back down. Beautiful. Give the legs a shake. Shifting weight, energy into the left leg. Make sure not to lock the knee. You do have a little bit of buoyancy, which will protect the joint. So from here, 4 corners of the left foot anchored. Inhale, right leg up. Hand to knee. Check in, maybe one side can be different, so you choose if you want to stay here. Option to go further, adding a twist, wrapping your opposite hand to knee, Press the knee into the hand, hand back into the knee. That'll help with balance. Then big circle with your right arm. Either keep looking forward, maybe you just look to the side room, or maybe even looking behind. Find your breath. Still pressing that knee into the hand, hand back into the knee. Press that left foot down into the earth, energize that leg, big breath in. And on your exhale, facing forward, slowly landing back down, giving the legs a little shake. So, once again, arms by your side, palms facing forward, nice and slow. Inhale, arms to sky. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, land the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Last downward dog of the practice. Top of head draws down, the hips up and back. And then nice and slow, landing the knees down. So moving into a restorative version of child's pose. If you do have a blanket, incorporate it in now. So bringing it in a sort of like a burrito type shape. And then rest it on your thighs. So when you start to fold forward, you feel that additional pressure, not on the ribs or the chest, but below the ribs, between the ribs and the hip bones. It's basically on your navel. And then you decide the shape of your burrito to see what feels right. So if you have eaten recently, or if you're feeling a bit sensitive in your digestive tract, in your belly, then maybe not having such a big roll. From where you are, keeping the legs parallel for this one, and just melting forward. And you may find that it's not as accessible to draw and bring the forehead down to the mat. So maybe making fists with the hands in this variation. So the head is not floating, it does have support. Taking deep breaths here. If you're not using a blanket, then whatever variation of a child's pose feels the most nourishing for you right now. Another 5 deep breaths. We're starting to wind things down, so making an effort to lengthen the exhalations. Activating the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest relaxation response. And then in your own time, lifting back up. Moving the blanket out of the way, then making your way back to your back on the mat. Moving into bridge pose. So from here, lift the pelvis, tuck the tail, creating more space again for the lower back. The legs are hip width apart, so just check what's going on. Extend the arms as long as you can. You're ideally just able to touch the tips of the fingers to the back of the heels. If your legs are too close in, it may create a bit more strain on the knees. So just give yourself a little bit of space here. You could just stay here in constructive rest once again. Very nourishing, restorative pose. But if you're happy to go into bridge pose, that also has benefits for our digestive tract with the compression in the belly. So on an inhale, press the feet down, forearms, hands press into mat. Lift the hips up towards the sky, the chest in towards the chin. Pressing the feet down, the shins and knees are moving forward as the hips are lifting up. Deep breath here, stimulating the thyroid gland as well. For 3, 2, strong legs, lift hips, and 1, release down. Beautiful. Draw the legs in. Wrap your arms around, another big hug, squeeze, massaging lower back. And then from here, extending the left leg, then the right leg you're hugging in towards your chest. And the name of the pose here is actually wind relieving pose. So the name says it all. It is very good for digestion. It's very gentle. If you find that it feels too strong in the lower back or for the left leg, feel free to bend the left knee. Just squeezing the right leg in, allow the shoulders to relax. Chin in towards the chest, softening around the eyes. And just slowing down the breath. And from here, we'll all bend the left knee. And then elbows down onto the mat so that you can lift the pelvis, shift it a few inches towards your right. Extend the left leg again. The right leg is still bent. Hold on to the right leg with the left hand and pulling the right leg across the body, extending the right arm into a big supine twist. The head can either be facing up, or you could choose to look towards the right. Big squeeze and hug for the internal organs. Definitely stimulating the digestive tract here. Something to note, if you are practicing on your own, you always want to be twisting the spine towards the right first. Then it goes the ascending colon to the descending colon. So it's basically following the digestive tract, helping to move things along for elimination and detoxification. One more full breath here. And then unravel, bringing your feet to the mat, shifting your spine aligned again, the center of your mat. And from here, drawing the left leg in, interlace the hands together at the shin, and if possible, extending the right leg. Wind relieving pose, just resting here. It's a lovely place to be, and gentle enough to do after a meal. So say you feel quite bloated and full, you could just get yourself in here for a few minutes. Also good to do before bed. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Just a few more moments here. And again, shifting into our twist, but first shifting the hips. So land the right foot down to the mat, as well as the elbow. So you have 3 points of contact to shift the hips towards the left. Extend the right leg. Grasp onto the left leg, pulling it towards the right across the body. Big final twist here. Extending the left arm away from you. You can either be gazing up, or for a little bit more through cervical spine, you could look towards the left. Another 3 deep breaths here. And then slowly, slowly unraveling out of the pose, realigning the spine, so feet flat, shifting the hips back to center, and tucking the tailbone as you do, making sure you have lots of space in the lower back. Making your way to Shavasana. So here, if you'd like, you can incorporate the blanket if you have been using one, maybe making a pillow underneath the head, or placing the blanket in the back of the knees. So do whatever you need to find absolute comfort here as you allow yourself to fully surrender. Completely melting into the mat. Relaxing the feet. Softening the knees, relaxing the entire pelvis and pelvic floor. Just feel this softness, relaxation in the belly. Noticing it rise and fall along with your breath. Inhale, belly up, expand, fill up. On the exhale, belly softens. Empty. Especially paying attention to the shoulders, allowing them to melt down to the earth, creating more spaciousness around the head and neck. And softening the features in the face, relaxing around the eyes and clenching the jaw. Allow your tongue to rest at the base of your mouth. Loving breath in and loving breath out. Slowly inviting movement back into your body, deepening your breath, and eventually bending the knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. Remain here for a few moments, and then in your own time, coming back up to a seat, closing down the eyes and just taking a few moments of gratitude with the palms together in front of the heart. Namaste.